who are watching this video right now most likely are a gamer, and whether you want to or not, you have a style and a type of playstyle. And usually among the few playstyles you have, in one of them, you are better than all the others. But come once and for all, get to know all these playstyles and so you can strengthen them. I'm here now to talk with you about different ways of playing. But first, let's see what the meaning of playstyle is. Almost every game you play forces you to follow a specific style. But ultimately, you like to have your own style. Sometimes a game tells you to play in a certain way, but in the end, you prefer your own style. For example, the game might say you have to be stealthy in a level, but you like to play loud and aggressive. And sometimes this works really well, and because it's the style you're good at, and you know how to make the right moves. But it can also be a bit confusing, since first we need to understand all the different playstyles. All together, I brought 4 styles for you. And still among these 4 styles, there is one style that, in my opinion, is the most important one. The first style is a sniper. Its name kind of nicely shouts what it means. Now, the guess of many of us, including myself, was that it exactly refers to snipers, meaning those who camp in a different environments, and they are generally lovers of headshots. Until I realized this style is much more professional than that. Let's take a closer look. And of course, look at the sniper example itself. Snipers are not really into spamming or shooting a lot, and that one bullet one-shots the target. And usually they aim for the head, which in different games is the most sensitive and deadly part of the body. But let's look a bit closer. Snipers are not only those who have a weapon and can shoot someone from a long distance and one-shot them. Those who have a sniper style are looking for 2 things: accuracy and weak points. If I want to explain this style very clearly and with an example, I choose Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West. If you have played this game, when you want to fight the machines with a bow, using the focus you have, you can analyze that machine entirely and see the weak and sensitive points of its body, which usually shows you in orange and yellow and tells you these are the weak points. Some are very big and some are very small, and so requiring very high accuracy. And naturally, instead of constantly shooting different points of its body, you target exactly the weak points and hit them, which makes it damage much higher and the enemy falls much faster. Exactly what the sniper style players do. High accuracy and calculate shots, they deal the most damage to the opponent. There is no need for a one-shot kill. What matters is the damage dealt. And don't forget that sniper style is not just for shooting games. In games where you have melee combat with some enemies or bosses, if you pay attention, the damage you deal to some points of their body is much higher than to other points. For example, an enemy where damage to the leg is much higher than to the hand, body, or even head. And some players may not notice this, but those with the sniper style can very quickly notice enemy weak points, and targeting those points deal maximum damage. The second style, aggressive. This style is loved by players who like to act aggressively, go straight into the enemy, they take their weapon and go to brawl. Without exception, this style is applied in all games, usually in hack and slash games. Games where you have no choice but to brawl with all enemies that appear in front of you. Hack and slash demands exactly this. Go into the enemy and kill as many as you can. Games like God of War and Devil May Cry leave you no choice but to act. For example, when 7 enemies fall on your head at once, naturally you can't stealth or act calmly to kill them. And don't think players of this style are toughless or illogical, just going forward and killing as much as possible. In my opinion, those who play this style can control multiple enemies at the same time. In some games, the number of enemies attacking you might be high, and naturally, one might get confused, unable to decide who to kill first, but aggressive style players can plan and control much faster. Killing multiple enemies is not difficult for them. Their main strength is controlling the number of enemies. Some players, when the number of enemies raises, lose their control and die, but those with aggressive style manage perfectly, choosing which enemy to kill first and avoiding a disaster. The third style is stealth. Those who choose this style love to have control over the entire environment. It's a silent art of war. They don't act out of fear. They want full control. The stealth style demands from you to not be seen, hurt, or leave any trace. Once killing the target, no one should know you were there. In games focused on stealth like Hitman, Dishonored, you can learn a lot. Stealth players have very sharp senses. Their first weapon is hearing and perception, and also they can detect where the enemy is and predict enemy movements, acting in complete silence and at the right time, killing in less than 10 seconds. They also master timing, decision making, and resource management. And they kind of playing with their enemy because it makes them feel strong, and they really are. And this way of playing helps the player learn to think step by step, just like in chess. They quietly wait for the best chance to strike, which helps them spot good opportunities, and of course make the fastest decision right away. When they don't have enough stuff for a fight, they try to trick enemies using distractions and smart moves to trap them, and in this way they even beat them empty-handed to save their remaining items for the next parts. They are very creative using disguises, distractions, traps, and stealth gadgets, and sometimes breaking the usual stealth cliches. And finally, we reach the foundation style, which I consider the most important style of all, one of the most deepest play styles, and its focus is on constant analysis before taking the smallest action. The player thinks and plans. This is why I call it the foundation style. It's used in all other styles. Being professional in this style makes you all other styles effortless. Aggressive players in a game like Ghost of Tsushima must decide which enemy to kill first, analyzing the battlefield and enemies' behavior. When archers are constantly shooting at you and distracting you, you naturally need to take them out first, and then you can focus on fighting the other enemies. And you can decide how to prioritize by understanding the enemy's fighting styles and their health levels. For example, in one part of the game, by analyzing the situation and your ammo, you can decide how long it might take to kill the enemies using a certain method or how much ammo you'll have left. And also, when players get a lot of money, they spend and manage it optimally to get the best item in the game that will have a long-term impact. The strategist style players can calculate risk logically. They consider ammunition, resources, and time before choosing between action or stealth. They manage money and items, and they unlock skill points efficiently. If you learn this style, it benefits all play styles. Fear this type of players because their weapon is the mind, not guns or swords. Someone who acts carefully even in chaos, keeps order, and makes the best decisions. Now you tell me, which style did you like the most and which one do you play more?